Hey stat students, let's go over the chapter 1 test. This was September 30th, 2020. Question 1A, the dot plot shows the daily lunch money of a group of students. Each dot represents one student. What am I going to do here? What is the mean daily pocket money? So these are all $1. So to find the average, I'm going to add up all of the values and divide it by the number in the list. And 2, 3, 3, and 4, 4. And then the number of people in this list, that would be 13 dots. So I'm going to have $28 divided by 13. This gives us about $2.15, which would be choice C. What is the mode or most of the daily pocket money? Which happens the most? That would be this one. So the answer would be $2. 2A. The histogram below shows the number of seedlings. So we said seedlings are just kind of like baby plants. And the heights after 5 weeks. When I see an earthquake, this squiggly kind of just shows there's no data between 0 and 6. So how many seedlings have a height between 11? So this would be this way, 11 to 25. So they basically want to know the heights of these. So I have 16. Okay, this one, that would be about 26. So this is 27, and this one looks to be like 22. So if I add those together, 49 plus 16, I get 65. So my answer is 65 seedlings have a height between 11 and 25 centimeters on this histogram. Part B. Find the range, which is the max minus the minimum. So the maximum number here is 30, and the smallest number is 6 inches in the height. So if you subtract those, you get 24, which is C. Question number 3. Mr. Daniel recorded the scores of each student in his class in the form of a stem and leaf table. If the passing score is 33, and all students who scored less than 33 have failed, then match the scenarios given in the first column with the correct answer. So it looks like my stem here, they don't have a key, but the key would read, this would equal 10. So in my stem, this is times 10. So 1 times 10 is in the 10s, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s. Okay. So question, what is the number of students who failed? So that we need a number less than 33. So 10. So I'm just going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 students who failed. And you have choices right there, right? Okay, what is the highest score? That would be a 79. And then the number of students who passed and scored the same marks. So really they're just referring to the word called the most or the mode. Number of students who passed and scored the same marks. So if I'm looking there, I see these. So this would be 40s. But let's see. Number of scores scored less than 40. Sorry. That's wrong. Let's change colors. So the numbers that scored less than 40. Now it's not less than or equals to. It has to be less than 40. So 39, 31. And 31. So that would represent 3. Number of scores that are less than 40. So less than 40, but greater than 30. And then the last one, number of students who passed and scored the same marks. This one I meant to say, that is the most, or mode. So those two would be 40, because 40 is higher than 33, that's passing, and they're the same marks, so that would be 2. Okay, question number 4. Mr. Fine collected information about the number of likes each post his Twitter page received. The number of likes are shown in the table below. What is the interquartile range of the data? I'm just going to go ahead and quickly number these. I guess you guys call it number of tweets. So n is equal 15. This is an odd. So if this is an odd, I'm going to need the 1. That one number is going to be my median. So I have 7 numbers to the left, 7 numbers to the right. This is my Q2, or the median. Why do I need that? Because I'm trying to find the interquartile range. I'm going to have to find the Q1 of this. I need to find the median. And remember, you're not including that green, so there is my Q1. In the red data over here, the 12th number, or 7, is my quartile 3. So the interquartile range is Q3 minus Q1. So Q3 is 7, and Q1 is 4. Therefore, my interquartile range is 3. So 3 likes is my answer. Okay, which which measure of center would Mr. Fine use to best describe the data? Use the drop-down menu to complete the answer. So the previous problem was at 3. Okay, if you made a dot plot, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 10, 39, and 376, I have data that looks like this. So the question is it normal or symmetrical? And the answer is no. So if that means it's skewed, and if it's skewed, then I don't want to use the mean. The best one would be to use the median, because it is the most resistant to extreme measures. Okay. Since it is not affected by extreme measures, is essentially the outliers. So outliers is your answer for number 4C. Question number 5. The school has a toy drive for a holiday in which students bring in toys to be donated to a charity. The number of toys donated by juniors and seniors are summarized in the histograms. I have 2 charts here. Is the standard deviation. So standard deviation is a measure of spread. Another word for spread is variability from the center, and or I call it jam. Is the standard deviation of number twice donated greater for juniors and seniors? So I'm going to put inequality here, and we're trying to find the standard deviation for each of these. Does that make sense? So from the center, let's look at the left one. This is the juniors. Notice you have little data in the center, and you have a lot of data, right? Why? You have a lot of data being spread out over here because this is a high number, 40, that's a big number, and it's bigger than the center, right? You would hope all the data is in the middle, but it's not, so you have a high spread, meaning there's a lot of students who brought nothing, and there's a lot of students who brought a lot. So a lot of variability. So what would I say about standard deviation? Just a lot. And let's look at the seniors over here on the right. Here's the center. And you notice you have a lot of data over here, but little data going in this direction. So their spread is little. So the question is, which one had a greater spread? That is the juniors. Is your answer. Number 6. Which one is a categorical? Remember, categorical is words or numbers. Numbers where you take the average. Can't take the average. Can't take the average. Or you can take the average, but it makes no sense. Or take average, but makes no sense. Like house numbers or classroom numbers, okay? Number of automobiles. Or, I'm sorry, the length of automobiles. That's quantitative, right? A car might be 12 feet, 6 feet. The time required to finish the 100-yard sprint. So that's time, and time is measured in seconds, so that is quantitative. The average daily number of steps walked. You would hope that I get 10,000 steps a day. It's probably closer to 3,000. Those are numbers that you can take the average, that makes sense. The brand of toothpaste purchased by shoppers in a grocery cart. So you have Aquafresh or Crest. But those are words, so that's categorical. And the average dividend of the S&P 500 stocks. So I told you guys that this is the stock market. And dividends are payouts. Okay? So you're going to get, payouts are money. So you're going to get, $10 or $10,000. So the answer that is categorical, just use that there. It's this one. That would be categorical is the brand of toothpaste purchased. Okay, number 7. Mr. Jackson's class took an end of the topic assessment. These scores are normally distributed with a mean of 83 and a standard deviation of 5. Part A, Caroline and Emily are 2 students in the class. Caroline scored a 79 and Emily scored a 90. Calculate the z-scores for each student. So I'm going to go ahead and write the formula that we need for both of these. And when you want to compare these, we're trying to compare it with a same ruler or measurement, and that is the z-score. X, the number, minus the average divided by the standard deviation. So let's go ahead and use Caroline's. Caroline has a score of 79, and the average was 83. and the standard deviation is 5. So I'm going to get negative 4/5, which is negative 0.8. Okay, over here we have Emily. Z equals 90 minus 83 divided by 5. So you will get 7/5, which is 1.4. And what does that mean? Blue, Caroline, scored below because of that minus sign. Below the class average because that's my explain word, because of a negative z-score. Or you can say, or you can say Caroline scored higher than Caroline scored below Emily's, because Emily scored this is a plus, so above the class average. My explain word, because of a positive z, because of a positive z-score. Again, you could have said Emily scored greater than Caroline because she has a positive z-score versus Caroline's negative z-score, but you have to compare the both of them. Alright, I told you guys to skip C, D, and E, and F. You're just supposed to leave those blank. Number 8, Julian. Julian surveyed his friends about how many pets they have. He used the data in the table to use the median, to find the median, mode, and range of the data. Drag the number onto the correct box. Alright, so let's just figure out how many classmates. So I got n equals 12. Okay. So I'm going to put these numbers from least to greatest and use check marks as I go along. 0, 0, and 0. So 3 of those. 1, 1. 2, 2. 3, 3. 4, and 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And I missed another 5. So check marks, super helpful. Okay, so how do you find the median? The median just means the middle. So let's figure out the middle. You have 12 numbers, so it's going to be 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is the median. It's between the two numbers because it's an even set, which means you need to find the average. Quartile 2, or the median, is 2 plus 2 divided by 2. So our median is 2. Alright, let's find the mode, which is the number that happens the most. See it there, 3 of them, that would be 0. range is the max minus the minimum. So maximum number of 10 minus a 0 equals a range of 10. Okay, and next question, number 9. Each child in a group was asked to choose a favorite type of cereal. The table shows the number of children who chose each type of cereal as a favorite. Okay, which statement is not supported by the data in the table? Okay, so I see percentages. So, number of children, this is just frequency. And we need to calculate probably something called the relative frequency, because this gives us percentages. Okay? So frequency just means count, and relative frequency is a percent. So if I calculate 15 plus 10 plus 2 plus 20 plus 3, this gives me a total of 50. So you can get a fraction 15 over the total and you can just use your calculator, or if you have some number sense, you recognize you just multiply this by 2 and you will get 30 over 100, which is essentially 30%, right? You take that number and then you multiply by 100 and you get 30%, okay? So this would be 20 out of 100, and that would equal 20%. Double it, so you would get 4%. 40 out of 100 gives you 40%, and 6 out of 100 gives you 4%. So if you add all those together, you should get, 50 out of 50, 100 out of 100, and 100%. So let's answer these questions. Which statement is not true? I like to think of not or no as false. Okay, let's go through each of the statements. More than 5% of children chose other as their favorite type of cereal. I got other, and that should say 6%. That is true, right? More than 5%. So 6% is more than 5. That is true. Oatmeal is the favorite type of cereal for 15% of the children. 15 is the frequency, but not the relative frequency. The relative frequency is 30%, so that is false. This should be a count, a number of 15 children, not a percentage, okay? Cold cereal is associated with the mode, or most, for the favorite type of cereal. Now it kind of tells you with the word favorite, right? So let's see. Cold cereal gives me 40%, right? That is true. 40% is the most. And grits is the favorite type of cereal for 20% of the children. And I look under grits, I get 10 out of 50, which is 20%. That is also true. So the only one that is false is B. And that's it. That's your Chapter 1 test corrections. Those are the solutions. Good luck to you guys. See ya. Bye.